Alright guys, welcome back to my next tutorial. This time we are going to texture something I found at my work. So just to show you what we are going to do, we have this detail here, and to analyze it quick, we have our base color layer, our base layer, on top with some scratches. Then we have our color layer, and on top of that we have another layer of scratches and a layer of dirt. Good. Another thing I want to ask you, what do you think about making some live streaming once or twice a week? If you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments. And as always, if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'm going to show you what I'm currently working on. As you see, I have here my Unreal project open, and if you stay, I will show you, I will give you a sneak peek of the project I'm working on, and I hope you like that too. Alright, so to start with that, I'm going back to Substance Painter. I have my basic layer here. I just added my textures, my marmoset baked textures, and now we're going back to layers. By the way, if you're interested in how I modeled this, let me know in the comments and I will make a video of that. But for now, we are going to start with our base layer. So for that, I'm zooming in. I'm gonna use maybe a base material. Let's see what we have. This metal brush seems really good for our purpose, but it's a little bit too much, I think. Let's see. First of all, tiling, we're going up to 5. Yeah, it's a little bit better. And with our roughness slider, if I can't find it somewhere. It's here. With this one we're going up, not too much. Like that. And that's good enough for now. With this little detail in here, we have to go a little bit down. I think it's hairline density. It's definitely doing something, but I think I leave it for now. So next step is add our scratches. So for that, I'm going to zoom like this area here. And we're going to add on top of this metal brush, first of all, I'm going to call it base layer. And now I'm going to add a fill layer on top of it. This one I'm going to call scratches base layer. And on that, I'm going to change the color to a little bit dark. For now, I'm leaving it like that, and add a black mask. On the black mask, I'm going to add a smart mask. And let me see what we have. We're going to use the same scratches as always. And for now it's too subtle, I can't see nothing up here. So go back to the main layer and under height, go a little bit down. Oh, it's too much. Like that. And go back to the mask editor and play a little bit with the settings. So for now I think I'm going down with the global balance, just a little bit. And go a little bit off with the global balance, with the global contrast. But it's looking good for now. I leave it like that. And yeah, I leave it. And next thing we're going to do is to add our main color. So on top of the scratches, add another fill layer, call it main color. And to determine this color, just open the reference image. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can't open it up. Just copy the value in here. So I'm going to use this color, this value, copy this one and paste it on your project if you want the same color. So, alright, the next thing, I go a little bit up with the roughness and with the metallic. And now it's time to add our peeling. So I'm going to use maybe this surface worn or surface rust. We have to try it. So add a black mask on the main color and just drag and drop it in here. You see we have a strange behavior. It's because we have some tree planar going on in our texture. So go to the mask editor, search for texture and deactivate the tree planar. Same thing on texture 2. And now it's going like we want. So it's looking not too bad. Maybe we go a little bit up with our global balance and our global contrast. So when we have nice color in here. Go more up with the global balance if you like more color in here. But I think I say like that. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. What we can else do in here, just for comparison, I'm going to test this one out. So I'm going to copy and paste this layer. The bottom one I'm going to deactivate, and on this I'm going to delete the mask editor and drag and drop this one in. So we see the difference of these two. So we have just to do the same thing on this mask. So go up with the global balance, go up with the global contrast. Oh, we have to go much more up. And now you see the difference of these two. So if I'm going to deactivate this one and activate this one, you can choose which one you like. But for me, I think I'm going to use, I like the scratches in here. And you have some color variation, a little bit of in here. But I think I'm going to use the bottom one, the first one. I think I'm going to use this one. So delete the other one, and now we have to do some anchor point stuff. To begin with, we have to add in our black mask an anchor point. So right click, add anchor point, and this one is called main color mask. That's fine. Go back to our main layer and add another fill layer. This one I'm going to call peeling effect. Add a black mask, but first we have to turn off all the other stuff we don't need. So turn off color, metal, roughness, and normal. We just need the height. And for that we're going a little bit up with the height. You can't see nothing because we have our black mask, but later on you see the effect. We are going back in our black mask, and on that add a fill layer. In the fill layer we have a grayscale button. Just click on that, go to anchor points and change and use our main color mask anchor point. And you see a little bit of a difference up here. Maybe if you're going a little bit closer, you see the difference, I think. And the next thing we have to do is under here we have our level sliders. We have another button called invert. If that's mapping in the wrong direction, just click on invert, but we are in the, or maybe I have the wrong direction. It's a little bit difficult to see, but I think we are now in the right direction. Yeah, click on invert, then you are in the right direction, and now we can play with our slider of the main layer. If you're going up, you see the difference, but don't exaggerate, do it slightly. I think 0.03 was fine. Then we have to add a filter. The filter is called blur. Let's just type blur in here. In here we have to play a little bit, not too much, with our blur intensity. Maybe 0.06 is enough. That's too much. 0.05 or 0.03. Yeah, 0.03 looking good. The next thing is we have to add another fill layer. So right click on the black mask, add a fill layer. Same thing on that, add the anchor point. And on this, click on invert. So the same thing we have done earlier, but for this one we have to change from normal to multiply. And you see the difference. If I'm going to deactivate this, it's a little bit more popping up. I see we are too blurry in here, so go back to the main mask editor and go up with the global contrast. Or you can go down what you want, but I go a little bit more up, like that. And seems pretty good. And now you can just go back to the peeling effect layer, and under height you can play a little bit more with the height slider if you want it more dark on the edges, but that's too much. So get a little bit down, and that's fine. So if you're thinking that's not enough of variation of the color in here, you can do some advanced stuff like adding another color in here. It's fairly easy. Add another fill layer. This one I'm going to call rust or color, maybe color variation. This color variation has to be on the bottom of the main color, so drag and drop it down, and you see we have our main color on top, and in here this white area is the area that has to be the second color. If we go to maybe if we're going to copy this value in here and paste it down in this section, you have the same color in here, but if you add, but if you go a little bit more up with the slider and go in the yellow area, you have the same thing like this spot in here, some color variation. And for now it's too much because we have to do some other stuff. So add a black mask on this. Same stuff in here, add a fill layer, grayscale. And you see we haven't any anchor point because we have to reference from another layer. So to do that we have just to copy our main color quick and paste it in here, but we have to go under our color variation because we need the anchor point of it. This one I'm going to call paint. I don't know. Yeah, call it paint. And I'm going to delete this main color mask. And you see we have an error up here because it's referring to another mask, and we have just to replace it because you see the chain is broken, so replace it with the other one and we are fine. So in our paint layer we can delete the color, so delete all the stuff we don't need. We just need the layer, and on this we have to add our anchor point. It's called paint mask, that's fine. And now we can reference our color variation with our fill layer to our anchor point paint mask. So we have the same stuff now going on, but if I'm going a little bit closer, you see we have a little bit of a variation now in here. That's totally fine, that's what I want. And to go a little bit further, we can add another filter, and this filter is called high pass. And with this high pass we can see really what's doing a little bit. We see a little bit of what's doing, but not that what I want. So, and up here, if you open it up, we have an option called mask. And now we can just manipulate our high pass. Just watch the gradient up here, the edges, how it's changing. If I go down, you see the white color is that what I want. And I just want this on the edge of the color. But for now it's too subtle, so we have to add a level. And with this we can just clamp it a little bit more. Like that, it's looking good. So for now, just play a little bit with the slider, but I think I'll leave it for now. So go back to material, and now we can just play with our high pass. So if you go up, you see the change. If you go down, you see the change, but I think we are good like this. So we have this color variation in here. The same thing you can do with the main color. So just go to the main color, add another fill layer. In this fill layer, grayscale, anchor point, paint, mask. Add a filter, the high pass filter, go back to the mask, and now I can do the same thing with the level. So just clamp this down. Like that. Alright, go back to material, and you see we have now this color variation in here, but it's a little bit too much, so I'm going down with the radius, or you can go up with the radius like you want, but you get the general idea of that. So I'm going to delete this. I like the color like this, and I think we are just done with the color. The next thing we can do is add a little bit of a roughness variation on top of all. So add a folder, drag and drop it on top, call it roughness variation. In this folder we can add a black mask on the folder, and on the black mask add a fill layer. On this fill layer we can reference our anchor points, so we are going to use the main color anchor point. And back in our folder we have to add a fill layer, so click on the fill layer and drag and drop it in here if it's not just in here. We have to deactivate all except for the roughness, so deactivate the metallic, the color, the normal and the height. Add another black mask, and in the black mask add a fill. And now we can drag and drop our grunge maps in here. So just type grunge. Obviously we have to be in the right direction, in the right filter. So now you can use a grunge map you want, but I gonna use the grunge wipe smudgy heavy, I think it's called. Yeah, it's called like that. Grunge wipe smudgy heavy. And with drag and drop you can't drag and drop it in here because you have to drag and drop it in the grayscale. So do that. You see a little bit of a difference if you're watching here. This difference, it's the variation of the roughness. But if you go back to if you go up in the material slot and go to the roughness slot, to this channel, you see the variation of this roughness map. Alright, you can go back to the material and go up with the balance and the contrast. You see the variation in here happening. So like that. And on top of this, you can just add another grunge map. This one I'm going to call roughness 1. First, I think I'm going back to the roughness channel, and on this side you go a little bit down with the roughness because it's too much. So maybe to 60. Yeah, 60 looking good. And now we can just add another grunge. Just copy and place the roughness layer. This one I'm going to call roughness 2. Just go to the grunge wipe fill layer and delete this one out and search for another one. Grunge, maybe dirt. Grunge, dirt. This pebble's looking good. Just use this one. Drag and drop in here. And the same thing, we have just to play a little bit with the settings. If I can find here. So go a little bit up and the contrast like this. And you have this variation on the right side. Alright, done this. And I think we are fairly done with our material. Or maybe we can just add another layer up on top of that all. So to do that, I'm just create a folder. This one I'm going to call it main color and just drag and drop all of the stuff in here. So now we can add a fill layer, drag it on the top. And with this fill layer, add a black mask. And on the black mask, we can add a smart material like dirt. Maybe we're gonna use dirt dusty. Yeah, just use dirt dusty. Drag and drop it in here. And we have the same problem as always with this tree planar. So go to texture, deactivate it, and texture 2, deactivate it. And now you can play with the final settings with the global balance. If you want a little bit more of the dirt on here, and with the contrast if you want it more sharp. But I think I let it a little bit more blurry. You can go up with the global blur slider to blur it a little bit up, out, but don't exaggerate. And now we have just to change the color of this dirt layer. I'm going to call it dirt. And deactivate the metal, the rough, the normal and the height, and the color is like black. Like that. So you have this dirt layer, it's too much to present in here, so more dark. Go to this slider and on the opacity slider and go a little bit down with this value. And now you have your dirt on top of this layer. So I just have forgotten a little detail in here. On the main color we haven't any scratches. We have the only scratches we have is on the base layer. So to add these scratches on top of this on the main color, just activate the main color and go to the fill layer. So the same thing like always, add a black mask, go to scratches. This time I think I'm going to use add scratch, drag and drop in here, and play a little bit with the settings. Go a little bit off with the wear level, and maybe with the branch amount a bit down. You have to deactivate the metal, the rough, the normal. Just need the height information. And the color information. Alright, I don't like this. I think I don't like this stuff. So maybe if we use the tiling, no. I think I'm going to use another smart mask. That's looking better. So quick adjustment. Alright, I think we are done with our texture now. Maybe the dirt is a little too much. Alright, we are finished now with our texture. So I hope you liked this little tutorial about creating a texture like this. Don't panic, I don't forget it about the sneak peek of my current project, but first, if you like this video, this type of video, just leave a like, subscribe, you know the drill. And if you want to see a live stream of me doing stuff like this or doing some modeling stuff, let me know in the comments and I will think about it, because I have to do some major adjustment on my workstation, so it has to be I don't know, it has to be sure that you're watching it, not that I do it for 0 people. Alright, now I'm going to show you a little bit of my current project. So if you're a gamer, you know what's it, and I hope you like the stuff I'm doing. So maybe I'm going a little bit more out and you see like that. So I see I have the name of the project up here. I'm going to blur it out, but you know, if you're a gamer, you know what I'm working on. So stay tuned and see you in the next one.